Let's go. Good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? Okay, can see Gbemi chat already. Gbemi is already commenting that. Gbemi is here. I can see Abisola. I can see Marvelous on the call. So if you're on this call, please can you sorry, name myself. I don't want to hear myself. Thank you very much. If you're on this call, can you just drop a comment on the chat box? We won't see your comment on the chat box. Our facilitator is ready for us, and then she's fully prepared for the class. So if you're in this class, can you just please drop comments? Mrs. Faith, I can see you. Welcome to the class. Mrs. Faith, I can see you. You're welcome to the class. The best men and Balogun World Cup goal scorers in this tournament. I can see you, Alice Eniola. Thank God, Alice joined class today. I can see you, Abigail. You welcome to class. Jamie, I've greeted you already. I can see you, Abisola. Please, let's start coming in. Let's start coming in, guys. Yeah. So because of our time here, and I know some of us are going to work tomorrow, and I know this place is very noisy, so I'll quickly hand over to our facilitator, Esther Kodu. And I know most of us must have gone through our bio, and this thing, I just really want you to take your time. I'm trying to give you like a pre-information. I remembered when I wanted to start this. She's one of the person I consulted first, and in my head, I'm like, I just need you to come on board because she's very good. She's been consistent since 2020. She's been, when Canva is not popular, she's been the one using Canva to do all of those top graphics, and then she just moved to motion graphics with Canva. And I just really want you guys to, give your time this period, pay full attention. If you're not with your pen and book, I think you should get your pen and book ready. Thank God this video is live. You can always go back to it and then we watch, But then I just really want you to, be ready for tonight's class. I already spoke to Sister Esther, and then I told her how serious we are, our attention to details, how we're submitting assignments, how early we had to class. And then I told her to give her 100%, and she has promised to, give us her 100%. She's the one I was referring to when I said witchcraft in graphic design. Yeah, she is. She's very good. So, I'm going to give her the floor now. Hello, Esther Kodu. You have the floor as I mute my mic. Good evening once again, and we are blessed. And thanks for, for having and accepting our invite to take this class. Thank you so much, sir.
Hi, good evening. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. It's really nice to be here today, and I'm so excited for this opportunity for us to learn together this evening. So good evening, everyone. As he has rightly introduced, Esther Akodu, and we're going to be learning or, talking about one of my favorite things to work with, which is Canva. And I believe that he probably has maybe shared details about me, so I wouldn't want to dwell on that because I just want us to be able to get as much value as possible from the class. Now, to start with, Canva is one of the, I would say for me, it's my favorite tool to work with. It's fun to use, easy to learn, in as much as I know some people have probably struggled with using Canva before now. I would tell you that it is a tool that you can really learn to work with. And before I get started, permit me, I always like to just say a word of prayer before any class I start with. I hope that's okay. Can I do that? Can I go ahead? Can I get feedback?
Yeah, I'm like, can you see the comment section?
No. 1 minute. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I can. I can sit
Oh,
down. Okay, okay. Thank you very much. So let's start. Father, we thank you for a time to learn this evening. We pray that you open the eyes of our understanding. You help us to understand. You help us to learn. You teach us yourself. And even as we go further to understand this too, we pray that you'd help us to see and find the value in it. It's going to come alive in our hearts for every one of us. There won't be any complexity. We receive easy access to understand in Jesus' name. For in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. So I'm going to make sure that I make this as simple as possible. And for some of us that already are familiar with Canva, just pretend as if you don't know it. Okay. And some of us that you are one of those that probably have tried to use Canva before and then you ran away. If you are guilty as charged, let me see in the comment. Maybe you've tried to use Canva before, or you even installed the app on your phone or your device and you've never used it before, right? Can you indicate in the comments? Let me know the categories of people that we have here. So I'm asking if you've maybe you've come across Canva before, you have the app on your phone probably, but you have never used it before. Or maybe you even started using it, but along the way you gave up because you found it difficult. Is there anybody like that here amongst us? Do we have anybody like that amongst us? Just drop a comment so that I would know. Do I have anybody like that? Okay, I'm seeing that additional Miriam. Okay, thank you very much for responding. I want to believe the others are they are pros. I mean that means I have my bosses here, my ogas, because some people are they are not part of us. They can't relate. Okay, okay, okay. So if you are one of those that probably have tried to use Canva before, but you either found it confusing or you just gave up along the way, or Canva frustrated you and showed you shaggy, I'm here for you. And that's why this session is for you. So I want you to pay rapt attention, follow me closely. And if along the way you have questions and perhaps it looks like I'm doing magic, please feel free to call me back and let me know that there's something that I need to go over. I don't mind repeating them. Aside loving Canva and loving God, the second most important thing I love to do is to teach. So you're going to enjoy this. All right. So let's jump right to it. What you're seeing on my screen right now is the Canva interface. You can either use Canva app or you can use Canva web. So there are two versions to Canva. Either you have the app on your phone, which I believe most of us use, or you are using the web version on your browser. For me, I like to use the web version. So I just go to any of my browser and then I use Chrome mostly. I go to my Chrome and then I search for canva.com. Canva.com. Once I do that, I'm in the Canva web version and that's what you're seeing on your screen. I don't like apps like that. So I try as much as possible not to install them. So that's why I just use the web version. So here's what you see on your screen. Now, I am going to just show some of the features. Now, Canva is very broad and there's so many things that one can learn to do with Canva, whether you're using your phone or your PC. And disclaimer, in case you only have a phone, you can use only your phone to still create amazing designs with Canva. So if whatever it is I'm going to be showing you here or doing here, it is the same on your phone. It may just have a different arrangement or look a bit different, but it's the same thing. And for a very long time, for years, even till now, I still design with Canva on my phone. So I still find it difficult to use a laptop to design. So, and that's it. This is what you will see on your screen. I don't know why my cursor is not showing. This is going to be an issue. Is there a way that I can enable my cursor on my screen to show so that you know what I'm pointing at different times? Or can we see my cursor? Is it possible?
Yeah, it's
It's going to.
possible. Like it's enabled. We can see your screen.
Okay, you can see it. Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay, okay. Thank you. All right. So first is the home screen that you're going to see here. Again, I may not be able to go so detailed into every feature that you have on Canva because Canva is broad, right? But I'm going to just share the important things that you need to know. Okay, so the first thing you will see on my screen at the top left corner is the create icon. Now, this is pretty much where you get to create designs from scratch. For those of us that really want to learn design, but for some people that maybe you just want to be able to edit templates, you can always do that. But then I always tell people that if you want to learn how to really design, avoid using Canva templates. Run away from using Canva templates. And the reason is because this is a platform whereby millions of people are also creating designs on Canva. And so that also means that millions of people are using templates. Now, what are templates? Templates are ready-made designs that have been done for you. All you need to do is to edit them and use. So I'm going to, maybe I'll just quickly show that this is a part where I believe you can see what I'm pointing at, where we have templates browse. So if I click on template browse, you're going to see a number of templates that we have available. And you see that these are designs that somebody else has done and they have uploaded on Canva here for you to just edit and use. So let's say you want to create a carousel design, something like this, or let's say an invoice, for instance, you want to design an invoice. Rather than having to start from scratch, you can leverage templates. But again, if you are not a if you're someone that really wants to learn how to create designs, avoid using templates. Do well to start your design from scratch. Start your design from scratch because it's going to limit your creativity, and also it's going to make your work look like a copy work because it is something that other people also will be using. So if I open this, it's not showing what I need to hold on one moment. Let me present the new screen that is showing me now. One moment, please. Oh, I'm just going to share my entire window so that I don't have to keep going back and forth. All right, so I think we can see me now. Let me just close some of these things so that I have a number of them open. All right, so this is what we opened, and it's pretty much just showing that you can easily edit this. So if you are trying to create a design for your business, perhaps you run a clothing business, you want to prepare an invoice, all you have to do is to come over here, change the colors to suit your business colors, change the font if you want to suit your business font, and change the copies, that is the text that you have there. So if I want to change this color for invoice, my brand colors are what you will see here. I have them in my brand kit. If I want to change something like this now, all I have to do is to click on this and then it changes. But for you that probably does not have brand kits, you'd have to click on this plus icon here to add a new color. So there are two ways you can add colors. You can put in a color code, which is what you have here. It's more like every color has its own code, right? If I pin 0000, that's black. If I type in FFFFF, that's white. So every color you see has a code, more like their name, right? So if you have a specific code, you can put that in. If you don't, you can just drag this stuff here, right? If I want my red to be darker, I drag it down. If I want it to be lighter, I drag it up. If I want to change it from red to another color, I drag it, I drag this particular bar here. So this changes the color, this changes it to, it helps me choose a shade or a tint, like, a light version or a dark version. So let's say we want something like this, and then we want to change, But the idea is that you can change the color of all these elements. You can change every tool that you're seeing here to something else. You can rewrite what you have here, edit, and then make adjustments. Write your don't forget to change the person's name that you see there. Don't go and write or put someone else's signature in place of yours because you're editing templates. So remember, every detail matters a lot. Okay, so the point is that you can use templates so that you don't have to start from scratch. This is more like a shortcut for people that don't really have time to design from scratch. But then back to the people that really want to learn how to create design. I mean, you think that is something that you want to venture into. We are to start designs from scratch. But before I go over there, there are different templates on Canva. There are tons of templates. If I want to create a design for a business card, for instance, and I have no idea what a business card should look like, all I simply need to do is to come to this search bar and type in business card. The moment I search, it's going to give me various templates of business cards that I can use. For some reason, the network is lagging. I don't know why this is taking forever to load. But my point is that for everything you want to create, there is a template for it. There are also videos that have already been made that you can also use on Canva. With Canva, you can create carousels, you can create videos, right? I create videos with Canva. I actually worked on one this evening for a friend. So I create motion designs with Canva. Reels that you see on social media, you can actually create them with Canva. And I also design websites with Canva. So you can build a one-page website. That is a landing page with Canva. And then you can also what's it called now? Create infographics with Canva, a bunch of things with Canva. So Canva is very broad and it allows you to do a lot of things. So I don't know if we can still see my screen. If this network is going to continue like this, it's not really going to help. Let me see. You may need to give me a moment. Let me try to turn off my router if that will help. I don't know if it's Canva or if it's my network generally. Let me know in the comments if you can still hear me. Just drop a comment if you can still hear me. Please drop a comment if you can still hear me. Can we still hear me?
Yeah, so she's going to join us very shortly, guys. She's going to join us shortly. She's trying to fix her network. Yeah. Let me go through the comment section.
Those white shirts, Martin. Cross the edge of that 18-yard box. Shown already, particularly against Mexico when they were down to 10. They can stand there and happily go with crosses.
Hi everyone. Sorry I had to go off. I had to turn off my router so that the network reconnects. Please confirm if you can hear me. Just drop a comment in the chat box. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm waiting for feedback. Can we hear me? Can we hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. I can hear you from here. We can hear you.
All right.
We
Thank you.
can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I was trying to show that you could search for anything you want to create, and Canva is going to bring up templates. Now, for sake of time, I'm just going to delve right into the Canva interface because time is already fast spent. So let's just get started with creating something with Canva. And so to start off, for this part that says project on the left side of my screen, if you're using your phone, it's going to be at the bottom of your screen. It shows every work you've done on Canva. I've heard people say that while I was designing, my work got deleted. There's no how your work will be deleted if you don't delete it yourself, or maybe the work just disappeared. Has it happened to you before? If that ever occurs, all you need to do is to go over to your project and you're going to see it there, because Canva automatically just saves everything you create on cloud. So you don't even have to do anything to save it, right? So, and you can always come back to any design you're creating to continue from where you stop. So I have quite a number of designs I've worked on. Okay, so now to start with your design, you're going to look for see the create button. If you're using your phone, it's not going to be on the left side, but you will see create on your screen, right? Once you do that, you would also see where to put in custom size. Usually I like to use custom size. However, if you don't have an idea of what size your design should look like, perhaps you're trying to create a carousel, or you want to create a birthday flyer, or you want to create a book cover design, and you don't know what it's supposed to look like or what size you're supposed to use, all you have to do is to come over to the search bar again. Life is easy, right? Life is easy, and Canva has made it easy. So all you have to do is to come over here and you search for book cover, and Canva would automatically give you the size to use. So you don't have to even brainstorm on what size I'm supposed to use for my design. Except you have a particular size you want to use, then you can use the custom size option. If you don't have the sizes or you don't know what size to use, you can just come over to the search bar, type in what you want to design. So let's say we want to create a social media flyer, a social media design. If I put in portraits, or let me say social media design, so you're going to see different size. This is 1080 by 1080, which is a square size. And there is the landscape, there is a portrait for flyers. So you can choose any one. For me, I just like to use custom size. So I'm just going to go right to do that. For a social media flyer, usually the size is 1080 by 1350. Although for Instagram now, it's now updated to 1440. So there's what we call the units here. So you may have heard somebody say that, oh, they want a design in 4 feet by something feet by 4 by 5 feet, or they'll tell you that they want a design in 2 inches or 2 by 5 inches, or they tell you they want something in something pixel. This is where you decide the unit you want to use for the design. So if you are designing in inches, you put it here, you select inches. If you are designing in millimeter, you select this. If you're designing in centimeter, you select this. But usually I work with pixel, except otherwise stated by the client I'm designing for. Then I click on create new design. So this is where the magic happens. It's going to show you a blank space, a blank page rather. I'll need to share my window, not just a screen. So I believe you can see it now. So it's already showing me a blank space. And It's more like you creating something out of nothing, because right now we have nothing here and you have to now bring it to life. And that's what makes you a creative person. That was, makes you a designer. Just like God is a designer, God created something out of nothing. So that is exactly what you are about to do. And that's what we're going to do right now on this call. Now, if you look at the left part of my screen, you're going to see what we call templates again. So templates are here and they're simply telling you that if you don't know what to design, just come over here and then edit. But remember, if you want to really be a designer, avoid using templates. Learn to create your own design from scratch. So we're going to create something really simple right now. And from there on, I think the next class would explore other things with Canva. So for now, I want us to just come up with a design. I'm thinking of us creating a product flyer, a design for a particular brand. Let's say a fashion brand, for instance. So we want to just explore these tools because I feel it's going to be faster for me to show you how these tools work while we're creating something. Because I want to take time to explain each of them. I tell you, I could use hours because there are a lot of things to explore with Canva. So if you look at the left part of my screen, you're going to see the first option, of course, is templates. That's why you're seeing templates here. If I click on elements, it's going to show me various elements I can use. Canva is amazing. I mean, I just love it so much. And I believe you will as well as we go on. So you're going to see that Canva has shapes. And the beauty of Canva is that you don't even have to leave Canva before you can create a design. If you're using other tools, maybe you're using Photoshop to create designs, you probably need to download your pictures, look for pictures, look for icons. But with Canva, you have everything at your fingertips. So if I need certain icons, all I have to do is to search for it here. Remember, this search bar helps you find anything as long as you put in the right keyword. Okay, so we have several shapes here. The square, circle, and the lights. So whatever it is that you want, if you want to use maybe animation features, you can just click on any of these and then make use of them. Now, the key to really creating a compelling design is to make it simple. Somebody said she can't see my screen. Can others see my screen? Can every other person see my screen? Please confirm before I go on. Can every other person see my screen? Just drop a message in the chat, in the comment section, so that I know if others are able to see my screen. Can we all see my screen? Can we all see my screen? Can we see my screen, please? I'm still waiting to get feedback from us. Can anyone hear me? Can we hear me? Can we hear me? Can you see my screen? Please let me know if you can see my screen. All right, so I would really appreciate prompt responses so that we don't have any delay. All right, thank you. So if at all you can't see my screen rather, Ebere, please just leave the live session and then try to join again. It may just be the network. All right, let's jump right to it. So we have text, where you bring in your text. This is brand kits for only those using Canva Pro. Now, another disclaimer is that Canva has the free version and then the premium version. Just like when you get on any app, they will ask you to subscribe for you to access more features. The same with Canva. So they allow you to use a lot of things for free. However, the most premium part of Canva are usually locked for people that are using the premium version. So normally they need you to subscribe to Canva Pro and on a monthly subscription or whether yearly for you to access some features. So there are some limitations if you're using the free version of Canva, all right? But then you can still create wonderful things even with the free version. So that said, you have your uploads. If you want to upload anything on Canva, perhaps you have a picture that you want to bring to Canva, all you have to do is to click on upload files, then go over to your phone gallery or your laptop screen, and then you can upload. So if I want to upload a particular image, I'm trying to see what I can quickly just upload. Let's just upload any of these flyers. So if I want to upload, all I need to do is to click on upload files, and then this comes up, and I can always just use it whenever I want. All right. So that said, the other tools, like I said, we would explore them as we create the designs, because it's quite a lot. All right. So I want us to create a design, and for a brand, we're going to recreate a design I had already done before. But then for our next class, we would all rather be creating a design from scratch. So you all will come up with the idea, and then we are going to just design together. But for this one, I want you to follow me because it's the first time, and also I'm very mindful of time. I know some of us work, so I wouldn't want to take too much of our time. All right, so we are creating a design for Style Path Studio. So here's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to first, for every design, most time people think that you need to use backgrounds when creating designs, and for me, most times I don't necessarily search for backgrounds. I just work with solid colors or gradient colors, right? So for me to get started, I have to make sure I'm tapping on the background or clicking on. If you're using your laptop, if you're using your phone, you just have to tap on this white part of my that you're seeing on my screen. This is what they call the canvas, right? So you tap on it, and then it brings up this option at the top. And we're going to select the background color part. Once you select background color, which is what I'm pointing at, you will see it showing here on the left part of my screen. So for me now, I'm going to need to add a new color. If you already have the color here, in fact, in most cases, if you upload a picture, Canva is going to pick out the colors in that picture for you. All right. And let me see. I don't know why this one is taking forever to load. But anyways, what I'm trying to just say is that now that I have a picture inside the design, you will see that maybe because it's still loading, it's not yet showing me the image color. Okay, let's just go ahead because of time. So I'll click on background color again, then click on this plus icon to add a new color, and then I'm going to type in my color code. For me, I'm using a gradient for the background. All right. So the first color, again, I did not memorize the colors. So don't think that I memorized the colors. I already have created this design before, and I just was, moving this thing around until I found the color that worked for me. So it wasn't like I had this in mind. Okay. So I first put in my color code, which is FEE3EA. Then I will click on the gradient. A gradient is a combination of two or more colors. So if you want to join, combine two colors together, you use gradient. So I have the first color block here. Then I'll click on the second one to change what we have here to maybe white. I just drag this guy up like this. So we have this now. You also can decide what style you want the colors to flow in. So as you can see, for this first one, it is coming from left to right. So you notice this part is darker and this part is lighter, right? For this other one, it is top to bottom. That's the style. Then this other one is from this part down to this bottom right corner. And then this other one is more like the color is at the center. So you can choose any of the colors that you want. So I think I want to use this. Then the next thing we're going to do is to bring in our text. For you to bring in text, you have to click on text. If you're using your phone, you're going to see text option at the bottom of your screen. So just understand that most of the things that are on the left side on my laptop, they are at the bottom of your screen on your phone. They are the same thing. All you have to do is to look down. All right. So that said, I'm going to click on text and then add a text box. Once I have this in, I would type in what I want. So it's fashion design. So we're creating a flyer for a fashion design brand. All right. And this brand is called Style Path Studio. Now, for every design, there is what we call them design principles. For everything, there are principles of accounting, for those of us that did accounting in school, principles of management, principles of marketing. Everything has principles, so does design. And if you fail to follow the principle, your design will look like what you yourself will not understand. So you have to understand design principles, but it's not something you learn in a day, okay? So we're just going to take it step by step. Now, one of the vital principles of design is alignment. And I always like to stress this a lot. And alignment is more like the arrangement of the elements in your design. So if your design looks scattered, people will not be interested in whatsoever it is that you have there. So you have to make sure that it's properly arranged in an orderly manner and in a way that compels attention. So I have this here, this one that is fashion design. What I need to do is align it. Now we have what we call the center alignment. You can arrange your elements to the center. I hope you can notice this pink line that is from top to bottom. The pink line is what Canva uses to help me know whether my work is properly aligned or not. Every element I move, the moment it is at the center, the pink line tells me it is at the center. If I move it here as well, you see the pink line is showing to tell me that there is alignment in a way. So there's what we also call margin. Margin is more like the amount of space, or how do I put it now? It's which part or which character do they really talk about margin. So it's more like just a way to guide your work so that you don't bring your elements out of your design. So it helps you align your work, helps you know borders that you must not cross, right? Boundaries that you must not cross. And you can easily enable, if you can see my screen, I have this rectangle dotted line that you may be seeing on my screen right now. It is something that you have to enable yourself on Canva. So if I go to, I hope I'm able to figure it out here. I am too used to my phone. Okay, if I go to files here, file rather, and I click on settings, I will see what we call show margins. So it just, if I disable this, you will see that the line would disappear. Let me see. How come it's not disappearing? This thing should not. Okay, it's supposed to go up. I don't know why it's not. But anyways, that's more like how you can get it to come up on your screen. I mean, this line you're seeing here. So now that I have it, I know that it tells me that every text I'm bringing in my design must not come out of it, must be within this borderline, this margin. And the advantage is that by the time you're printing your work, sometimes some people may crop out edges of the design. You don't want them to crop out information you have in your design. That's why you have to use margin so that there is enough room around your design. So once we have done this now, I want to arrange my text to the left. I want to use what we call the left alignment. When you arrange your elements to the left, it's called the left alignment. When you arrange them to the right, it's called the right alignment. If you arrange them to the center, it is called the center alignment. So there are three kinds of alignment. If you're following me, can you drop the three kinds of alignment I just mentioned? If you're following me, just drop it in the chat box while I continue. Drop it in the chat box while I continue. Okay, so we have this here. Now, it is not enough for me to just place it on the left side. I also have to make sure that the text are still properly aligned. So I'll need to come over to this alignment tool at the top of my screen and then click on this. The moment I clicked on it, you will notice that the text moved. The bottom part, the bottom text moved. I don't know if you can notice what's happening, right? The more I click on it, this center alignment, this left alignment. Thank you very much, Moses Faith. Akpe, thank you very much. That's excellent. John Matthew, thank you. So the left alignment, center alignment, and the right alignment. Beautiful. I have really amazing learners here with me, and I really love that. So now that we have this here, I have properly arranged it. I need to change my font. So to change fonts, I will come here to where it says Canva Sans. This is the name of the font. If you're using your phone, you will probably see letter F. Letter F is the font icon. So for me, I'm going to use a font called, there are different fonts. You can always just search till you find what you want. I had to keep searching, not like I knew the name of the font. So in case you are wondering, how did you know the name of the font to use? I don't have the font name memorized. I just keep checking on Canva till I find the one that is suitable for me that I like, and then I go ahead with it. So now that this is taking forever to load, okay, let's see. Awesome, it has now come up. So we're going to be using this bold version of it. All right. Again, when you get to your font, you can scroll down. There are thousands of fonts, or I think hundreds, I don't know. But once you have a font, whenever you see an arrow in front of a particular font, it means that it has family members. What that means is that there is a father, mother, and children, and probably your grandchildren. So it means that it has different font styles. So it is not alone. It is not a man living alone. So for instance, this man rope font has extra light. It has a light version, regular version, medium, semi-bold, bold, and then extra bold. So it encompasses quite a number of font weight rather. So you can now decide, you want it to be light, do you want it to be very bold? So you see what's happening here. So I'm just going to take this back to my font, which is the creator display. Another thing that you will notice is how that the spacing in between the lines is a bit too much. So I need to reduce what we call the line spacing. For me to be, because these little details matter a lot, and most times many of us do not really pay attention to it. Let me increase the size of this a little bit more. So I use 118. And now that this is done, I would like to go to what we call this is advanced setting. And I will drag the part that says line spacing. There is letter spacing, which is the spacing in between the letters, just like the name implies. And then there is the line spacing, which is the spacing in between the lines. So I'm just going to move it till I'm satisfied with, where it is, which I think I am. And then the next thing I want to do is to change the color of the text. For this text as well, I make use of what we call the gradient. Can anyone remind me what I said a gradient is? Anyone, just drop in the chat as well. What is a gradient? What is a gradient? What is a gradient? If you remember, just type it in the chat box. What did I say a gradient is? I want to know those that are following me. I hope somebody is not probably somebody somewhere in their kitchen frying plantain. I'm pretending to be here. So make sure that your attention is undivided. Okay. So I am going to use, how did that disappear? The color code for this is A80PB64. Okay. Then I want it to be a gradient. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me what a gradient is. Okay, thank you very much. Larry said a gradient is a mixture of two or more colors. Beautiful. One big sweet for you. That is very, very brilliant and fantastic. If this was a large, a physical class, I would have asked everybody to stand up and give you a round of applause. But this is virtual, so thank you. Anyways, moving on. The second color code is going to be 470000. Yeah, this is it. So I simply just combined two colors. And for this one, I'm going to use a different style. I'm going to use this last style for the text. Now that we have this, what I need to do is either go back again and add a text box, or I just duplicate an existing text, which is what I pretty much like to do. So this icon here duplicates. Once I have this duplicate icon, I'm going to type in services. Now for this one, I would like to change the font to something different. So I'll come over to font again. And then I'm going to type in, I think it's billion something. The Billion Miracles, yeah. So that's the font name. So I want it to be a signature font, something that is more like a scribble. Yeah, what a name. What a way to name a font. Interesting. Okay, so we have this here. And because of contrast, there's what we call contrasting design. It's more like trying to ensure that there is a level of difference between the elements in your design. So I want to make sure that this color stands out more than, it's a bit different from the other color. So I'm going to use a different color for this text. I'll go to this color part. Thank you to everybody that gave, with me. I can see your comments. Thank you very much. Abigail, yes. Additional, thank you. Akpe, thank you very much. That is totally correct. Now I would need to come here to change the color. So I need to select solid color. The color code for this is FF792D. So this is an orange color, and then we have the text all done. So this is fashion design service. The next thing I want to do is to write the name of the brand. For this one, I'm going to use a square, or rather a rectangle, but usually comes in form of a square. So I'll come over to elements here, click on shapes, then I'll select any of the squares, right? Or yeah, it's a square, either this or this rounded one. So let's just use this. So this is our square, which we have here. I'm going to place this at the top. Then resize. To resize any element, you can drag it by the side. You can drag it at the upper part, or you can use this edge. I prefer this so that I can easily just resize it, vertically and horizontally. So this is pretty much what we have. Now that we have this, I will need to change the color. Okay, so I'll change the color, and I'll need to go over here. I can try to use gradients, but I don't want it to be completely black, so I'll need to make it a little bit gray. All right, with that done, I'd love to also give it corner around it. So this is pretty much what we have, but I want the edges to be a bit rounded and not so sharp. For me to achieve that, I'm going to go over to corners and increase the corner rounding a bit. So let's say 15 should do. So you see the difference. This was how it was. This is how it is now. Just a little difference, but it matters a lot. Okay, so next is duplicating a text, and then I will write my next, the name of the brand, which is Style Path Studio. Now you'll notice something. When I placed this text right on top of this shape, what do you think happened to the text? What do you think, or what comes to mind in terms of the visibility of the text or the readability of the text? I need feedback. What do you think about the readability? Is this something that you are able to read easily? I need feedback quickly. I need feedback from us. Trying to arrange this while I await your feedback. What do you think happened to the text I have at the top here? So I'm waiting. Awesome. Thank you very much, Akbe. I hope I'm pronouncing your name very well. Pardon me, please. In case I am murdering it, I'm so sorry. So, yes, both colors are dark, and that means that there is no contrast. For you to be able to make sure that your text are readable, you need to make sure that this other design principle that is called contrast applies here. That means your colors have to be opposite opposite in nature, or in color, or in whatever it is that you want to call them. But they need to be opposite, just like they taught us that the opposite of white is black, the opposite of a boy is a girl, right? In design as well, it applies to colors. They have to be far apart. Light cannot mix with darkness. Okay, so let's see. So we have to make sure that we change the color. So this can be a white color, and then you notice the difference now. It was this way before. Because of change of color, it is this way. So the difference is clear. Every time you create designs, if you don't even know what colors to use, just ask yourself, can I read this easily without having to strain my eyes? If the answer is no, then you need to adjust your colors. Now I'm going to duplicate this text and bring them here so that I have a subtext. This is more like the structure of how most people, how most designs, flyer designs particularly, how we have the headline, and then usually we have a subtext, right, which is supporting the main headline. Okay, so you would notice that I increased the size of fashion design services. The reason is because I want there to be contrast as well. You see, I'm mentioning contrast as the second, another principle of design. And I've mentioned it in terms of color. I'm also mentioning it in terms of size. I could have easily just written it plainly, but I'm trying to make emphasis on a particular message I'm trying to pass across so that this stands out more. People that need fashion design services, they are going to see this before anything else. Now let's move on. I'm going to need to bring in my copy. Let me just copy it and paste so that I don't have to start typing. Oh boy. It's not copying. No. Looks like I may have to type it out, whether it's creating or let me see. Okay, let's just continue. Now you see also that you cannot see the text, so I need to change it to black so that you can see it now. Again, if there's anything I'm showing you that you need me to go over again, please do well to let me know and I would be glad to do so. All right, so whether it's creating something new or giving your favorite a second life, we're here to make fashion work for you. So now we have this. So you notice that it is very wide because of what I'm trying to achieve. I want to have my image on this side, this right side. If I leave my text this way, it's going to be covered by an image, or whether it's going to be the one covering the image, and I don't want that. So what I would simply just do is to drag this by the right side. So you can let it fall to several lines by dragging and dragging and dragging till you are satisfied. Okay, so I'm going to increase the size of this. Maybe not too large. So I increase the size by dragging by the edge, as you can see, or you can type in a particular font size here. Now for this one, the words are looking squeezed together. That means the line spacing is a bit too much, right? Sorry, it's a bit too small. I mean, they're too clustered. So I need to go back and adjust the line spacing. So let's increase it a little bit more. So it gives it more room for you to breathe. Okay, so we have this here now. All right, so we are making progress already. Let me drag all of this up because we have some stuff coming underneath now. All right, so I think we are good. The next thing I want to do is to bring in a duplicate of this. Now I want to list out services. What are the services that this fashion design, what are the things that it includes? So that's what I pretty much want to do now. So I'm going to bring in this rectangle and I would like to make it a bit more rounded. So I'll come over to this corner rounding and then increase it this way. Next thing I want to do is to change the color to something that's also going to stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to click on this plus icon and then type in my color code, which is F2CAD4. Now I didn't just choose these colors randomly. So while I was creating the design, I had to keep trying to see what colors will work. And for this, somehow I wanted to use a gradient as well. I have no idea why I used quite a number of gradients here. So for this other one, the color code is FDDCDC. Now that I have this done, the next thing I want to do is, and for this as well. Yeah, this first style is what we're using. So now that I have this done, what I'm going to do next is to bring in another rectangle. So you would notice that we're using a lot of shapes, or we're using shapes a lot, but not so many shapes. We've only used rectangles in 3 different places, just so that we're able to highlight some important things in the design, rather than just writing the text plainly. So these are the little details that matter. So I'm going to change the color of this one. I can try using this color and maybe even increase the corner rounding of this one to be this way. Then I want to now write the text here that says our services include. One thing that I want to mention is that whenever you want to write a text on a particular shape, always ensure that you have enough room around the text. I'll zoom in so that you can see what I mean. So you will notice right now, because sometimes the mistake some people make is that the text is almost coming out, or even already coming out of the shape, or even touching the shape already. I mean the edge of the shape, which is not supposed to be so. So when you have a particular text in a shape, make room for it. There should be enough room around the text so that it can breathe. And this would lead me to the third principle of design that talks about white space. White space is simply the space around, or the space between each element in your design. It tells you that you should not cluster your work. You should allow your work to breathe. So I have my text here, but you see that we now have more spaces around it, and it is not, coming out or touching the edge of that particular element. So that's that with the space. Then we would move on to this part. I don't know if what I copied would reflect now. No, it's not. Okay, so let's just type quickly. So bespoke tailoring, I would like to use initial caps. Pre-loved clothing made evergreen. Okay, garments alteration, upcycling, and recreation. And the last one is ready to wear. All right, so these are the things that the service includes. Okay, what they offer. Again, you will see that my text is coming out. If I leave it this way, it's really not going to be so cool. So what I'll need to do is to drag it by the side again. Now that I have it this way, I can easily just adjust. Now for me, I want to have bullet points highlighting each of them. That just helps with the aesthetics a bit more. So I will go back to my elements. If you're using your phone, you may not see this readily available. You have to look at the bottom of your screen, search for element, and then you can come here and then type in bullet. Not the typical bullet that you are thinking about. Okay, not this one. These are bullet points. So these bullet points are the ones that we can use. So you can select any of them. And again, remember I told you that with Canva, you don't have to start searching for elements, all these things, icons that you want to use, and then trying to download them. You can find everything on Canva. Now that we have this, I will change the color above. So you see that it has 2 colors. I'll need to change both colors to this orange. And we're good. And then for the font, let's increase a bit more. So that it is much more legible. So this should work. So I'm going to move this up here. Now again, you notice I'm not bringing it so close that it's touching the text. White space is very important. So I'm making some room for it here. Then I will duplicate to have another copy. And then duplicate again, another copy, duplicate, and one more. We're good. Awesome. So we can zoom out now. And this is what we've got. Is everyone following? Is everyone following? Are we good to go? Should I proceed? Do you need me to go back on anything before I go ahead? Are we good to go? Are we good to go? Are we good to go? Okay. Thank you. So is there anyone that needs me to go over anything again before I go ahead? Or do we understand? If you understand, just let me know if you understand. Let me know that you're following. If you need me to go over any part again, please indicate now. Speak now or forever hold your peace. So you can just speak now and let me know before I go ahead, before it gets too late. So I'm waiting. Nobody is making any comments yet. I'm waiting for a comment. If you understand, let me know you understand. If you need me to go over it again, let me know so I can go over it again. I'm waiting for a feedback. I'm waiting for a feedback. I'm waiting for a feedback. Are we still here? Omo, they have left me. I hope you people have not gone to sleep. I hope you have not gone to sleep. Are we still here? Are you following? Are you following? Do you need me to go back again? If you need me to do so, you can just let me know exactly what you need me to. Just if you have a question, please just go straight to it so that we save time and then I'm able to attend to it. All right. All right. Some people said it is very clear. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, someone said I'm a good teacher. My goodness, you're going to make my head swell. Thank you very much. Give me saying how I change the arrangement of the background color. Okay, and that's way back. But I'm going to just show you quickly. So let me just add a page again. It automatically just brought in the colors. So I'm just going to change it to white. So this is usually how the background will be. So I said that for you to be able to change the background, I didn't bring any image into the background like sometimes we do. I just changed the color. Before you do that, you have to click on the background. If you don't click on the background, these options you are seeing above will not come up. So when I click outside, it went up. When I click on it, it shows this icon. And the moment I do that, one moment. Is it a video? Okay, pardon me for the break. So, so what I did for the background was just to create a gradient. After clicking on the background, this option showed up, and I clicked on this part that says background color. If you're using your phone, you're going to see it at the bottom. You will see this color option. Once you click on it, you can then click on add a new color, this plus icon, and then put in the color codes. I mentioned the color codes initially. So when you put them in, you can easily just, see the colors as I explained initially. So the moment you type any letter, it gives you a color because every letter has its own code. So this is the color code I use, FEE3EA. Then I will now have to click on gradient. Once I click on gradient, I can then select these other colors. I mentioned that we can add as many colors as possible. So the more you click on the plus icon, the more you can add more colors. But for now, we only need 2. So the other color code is, I think I just used white. So this brought me here. Then I used this second color style and it made it flow from top to bottom. And that's pretty much how I created the background. Do you understand? Have I succeeded in clarifying or I have confused you the more? Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear? Jamie, please let me know if you understand. Let me know if it's clear, please, before I fire on. I don't want to leave anyone behind. I want to ensure that everybody is getting it and following. Okay, so I will be waiting to read Gami's response. Please, once you see, or once if you're here, Gami, just let me know if this is clear enough. Now, moving on, while I wait our comment, the next thing is to bring in, I want to put some more information below. Okay, so what I simply did, I'll delete this and do it again. I'll duplicate a particular shape. Now I have this. Then I'm trying to wrap up in a few minutes for sake of time. It's quite late already. So I am pretty much just expanding it. I hope you can see I expanded using this. Just drag it by the edge here. And now that I have this, I will change the color. We can use this. And I want to bring it behind. You see that it's covering my text. I want to bring it behind the text. All I need to do is to go to where we call position. If you're using your phone as well, you will see position. Then you click on backward. Keep clicking till it gets back. Or you click on to back and then you're here. With this now, you will notice a part below here. Because of the curvy edge here, this part is curvy as well, and I don't want it to be so. This part as well is curvy. So I'm going to just drag this down. And then come over to my corners and increase this corner rounding a bit more. So I have this. And once we have this, I want to bring in, I can either choose to bring in my images now or my contact info. I think I would like to bring in my image now. To bring in an image, I need to go over to photos. Once I'm here, I just have to search for, I think what I searched for, if I'm not mistaken, is fashion. Is it man? How do they spell mannequin again? Mannequin. My goodness. This I used to. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this was the image I used. Fashion mannequin. And because I'm using if you're using your phone, gradient is everywhere. If you're using your phone or your PC, if you're using your phone, just look at the bottom. There's a part where they've written gradient. You have to click on it. But gradient, whether you're using your PC or your phone, it has you have access to use gradient. So it's there. You just maybe need to look around there. It's actually there. I don't know how to explain it verbally for phone users. But if you're using your PC, you will definitely see it there. But if you can't, please just let me know. Okay. So we have this image here now. I want to remove the background. So I will use this background remover where it says BG remover. You can only access this feature if you are using Canva Pro. Remember I mentioned when I started that Canva has the free version and the Pro version. The free version allows you access to some features, but there are limitations. So if you're using the free version of Canva, you won't be able to access this particular tool that I just used. I mean, what's it called again? The background remover. So if you're using the free version of Canva, the alternative is you can go to your browser. That means you have to download the image first from Canva. Then to download the image, where were me? Okay, let me see. Can I download from here? It's taking forever to load. All right, we'll get back to this. Let me just quickly show how to download. You can just go to your browser and search for background remover, because there are a lot of them. There are some I use, but it's easier for you to remember this way so that I don't tell you. Thank you for spelling the mannequin for me. Thank you very much. So I once you click on background, search for background remover, you'll see quite a number of them. The one I use mostly is remove.bg, or you can try photo room as well. So they help you remove background. Just upload any image there, and then you can remove the background at ease, or with ease rather. Then once you're done, you can then upload on Canva. Just that it's a bit more, stressful. It's not as straightforward as if you are removing the background on Canva here. So I was trying to see if I can just easily download an image. I should be able to. I'm surprised that it's not. Anyways, let's just go ahead. So this is what we have. This is what we have now. I'm trying to make sure that I'm trying to make sure that this is well positioned. So now that I have this here, let's increase the size. I don't want it to be too close to the text here. So that's what I'm trying to watch. So I am going to need to move it behind. You notice that if I place it this way, it's showing the cutout part below. So I need to bring it behind this rectangle. So I simply click on it, go to position, then select backward. I keep selecting it till it goes back, and now it has done that. So you notice this was how it was before. This is how it is now. All right. So I believe we're good. Next thing I did was to bring in a rectangle. I'm going to need to rush now because of time. I usually don't like to keep people for so long, but I hope you are getting value from this. I really hope you're getting value from this. So what I did was to bring images of real life people. I don't know if I still have the image on my uploads here. Let me use this person. There are two ways you can do this. You can either bring in a frame by going to elements. So I'm going to show you two ways you can do it. I want to put it in a very in a container in a way, right? So I can go to elements, then I'm going to go to shapes. Sorry, not shapes, frames rather. So you can put it in a frame. You can put that in a frame. Now you can use any picture. If you're trying to practice after now, you can just use any random picture that you find in your photos section on Canva here. So these are frames, and if I need a rectangle frame. So I'll just search so that it gives me exactly what I need. Rectangle frame. So these are the rectangle frames that it has. So I can select any of them and then proceed. Let's say this is what I want to use. So this is my frame. All I need to do is to drag her over, and voila, she's inside. All right. So that's one way to do it. And so that it shows more of the picture, I would need to, what I just did now, let me zoom in. So what I will just do now is to double click. If you're using your phone, just double tap on it so that you can crop out the image a bit. I want you to zoom in a bit more on her and crop out some part of the background. So now I have this here compared to how it was before. This is the before and this is the after. So another way you can do it, as I mentioned, is let's bring in another image. I go to my uploads. I previously uploaded this a few hours ago while I was working on a video for her. So I can come here just without putting her in a frame, still make it look like she's in a frame. Okay, so we can have this like this, and I'll reduce the size, but this square can go away. Goodbye to you till we meet again. God be with you till we meet again. Okay, so we have this. I would increase the corner rounding, and then I can also give it a borderline like stroke. Okay, I can come here. This is my stroke. I like to make my stroke width. This is if it looks funny when it's this much. This is a bit too much. All right, so you just make it very minimal. I like to leave it at number 1 so that it's barely visible, and then I can change the color to something like this. Any of these colors that makes it stand out. So this is very, very simple, clean. I think the corner rounding is a bit too much, so I'll just reduce it a bit. So this is what I have. Let me delete this so that they have the same size. I'm going to use this exact one for the second image because I'm supposed to have 2 of them. So I would simply bring her in. We can crop, and crop. If I was using my phone, there is a replace icon that allows me to just replace it instantly without having to crop again. But because I'm using my PC, I won't be able to just replace. So I want to make sure that they are the same, height and width. Then let me check the corner rounding I use for this, 29. So I have to use the same 29 for this. Let's just type in 29. Okay, and then the stroke weight, which should be 1, and then the stroke color, which is this. So now we can remove the one that is beneath it, and we have this wonderful piece here. So let me adjust. We can increase the size just a little bit so that it's just visible. All right, are we following? Is somebody still with me, or you have left me? Are we still here? Are we still here? Are we still here? So the next thing I want to do is to put in the contact info. So how do they contact them? That's one thing that is very important in any flyer design. Usually you should have a call to action. You should have, a prompt as to what you want people to do as they have seen your post. So for this one, I want to change the color to white because we have enough of this. Now what's this color called? I can't seem to remember. Let's move on. Okay. So I'm just going to change it to white because I think it's going to come out better. And what do you think? Is this, which of these 2 works better? This color or, I think it's peach. Yeah, the peach or the white. In my opinion, I think the white stands out more. So just to wrap up, we'll have the social media handle here, style path, studio. For contrast sake, you can reduce the size of this a little bit so that, it does not compete with the information you have above. But at the same time, it should not be too tiny such that someone can't read it. So I'm going to duplicate this, write the next one, which is the email address. I'm not sure this is the email, but let me just say stylepart@gmail.com. And then the last one, you want to include a contact number. So let me just use random number before you go and be calling. I was going to use my number, but I don't want to start receiving random calls. Okay, so this is where we are now. We can group them and then move together for alignment's sake. Now, another thing we can have is icons to depict each of these. This is IG. So we can go over here. This is the final thing, by the way. We are done. So if you have any question, you can start dropping them now. This is just the final thing that we're doing. If you have any question, please, you can drop them now. So I'm going to put in the Instagram icon, reduce the size. So you notice I use the same size for the Instagram handle, Gmail address, and the phone number. Okay, so please ensure that there is uniformity. I like to zoom in so that it makes life easier for me and I don't have to be crying as I'm designing, because it can be very frustrating when you're trying to, you know, arrange things or move things around and you're having difficulty doing that. So this is it. And then you notice I am very mindful of my arrangement. I'm not just placing it anywhere, maybe at the top here, and then this one is here. No, I am following the guide Canva is giving me. I move it until I see this pink line move from the, from each edge. So that pink line is what is telling me that it is properly arranged to the center of the shape. If it is not properly arranged, I will not rest. I will not sleep until it is well arranged. Okay, very, very important. So the next one is the Gmail icon. Please, if you have questions, drop them now so that we can I can attend to them before we call it a day. So let's say this is the next Gmail address is what I searched for. Usually I'm supposed to search for something that has the same shape. All of them are supposed to, let's see if we're able to find for the phone icon. So I need to make sure that they are the same size. So you see that they are not uniform. So that's why I place them side by side until they are the same size. So that one is not bigger than the other. And then I make sure they are also properly arranged. The last one is the call icon. Or if it's WhatsApp, you want them to, reach out to you through. So this is it. So you would also observe that I made sure to choose icons that are similar. I'm not just using random icons. Number one, they're icons that all are in black color. If I want to use the Instagram actual logo color, I will make sure that all of these things, I'm using them in their actual logo color. But if I want to make them, I can change their color. For instance, let me just select these three. I can change, I don't know, I can't find the option to change all colors, but this should be able to change. So I can change the colors to, I also can't find our actual color, but let me just for example's sake, I can change all their colors to the wine color I've been using before. And all of them have to carry the same color for uniformity's sake. So that's a very, very important micro detail that a lot of people skip. Always make sure that there is uniformity with your contact info below. And the final thing that I think I just added to make it come out better, or just to a little paparazzi, it's the design works with or without it. It's a red wavy silk. So you can decide whether it is necessary or it is a schedule. Okay, so if you think it's not necessary, by all means, leave it be and no need to use it. But if you think it works, then please, you can make use of it as well. So I'm trying to see where to position it. So, of course, it cannot be in front. It has to be behind. So go to position and click to back. So it goes behind everything else. And with this, we've come to the end of this design and we've been able to successfully create this simple flyer design with Canva. Did we do an amazing job or not? I mean, you all were amazing. Thank you for banking with me. Thank you for following through with every process. You made it a lot fun and I enjoyed every process of it. How was the session? Do we have questions? Anything that is not clear that you need me to go over again? And before I drop the mic, what do you think about the design? What do you think about the design? Did we do a fantastic job? And you think you can also recreate this? So I think I'm done. Yes, I'm done. Thank you very much. I would pause here and then would continue in the next session we'll be having. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for this class. We're indeed grateful. Yeah, the design is so nice. Definitely, we are recreating this design. These are our assignments. We are definitely recreating this design. Yeah. Please, let's give a round of applause for our facilitators. Please, let's give a round of applause for our facilitator.
I'm sure he feels like he could have started and maybe could have given him an area. But then again, I think
let's give a round of applause for our facilitator.
And you look at Essendon, how England is positioned themselves as a box.
Yeah, we are definitely recreating this.
Yes, we've seen Messi in the first one.
Thank you so much, man. We did grateful. So we're going to be having the second section with you, and then I'm going to discuss it with you privately to know when you'll be free. And then we just go to the emotion side of graphic design and how to use some of those templates too. For example, when just want to work on a presentation or a motion, template for fashion designer like he designed, and other brands like that for skincare products and all. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. We're indeed grateful. Thank you for your time. Yeah. So we see you later, man. All right. So before we call it a day, our next class is going to be on Friday. Yes, there's assignments. Baby, there is assignment. These are our assignments. We are recreating this. And definitely recreating this. And the reason why is because what we're going to be doing next is motion. So if you don't recreate this, you'll be lost by the time you're doing motion graphics with this. So we need to recreate this such that in a way that we are used to the interface. Yeah. In a way where we're used to the interface. We've gone through that sweat, you have your headache, you've recovered from your headache, you fix it. So by the time you heal from designing this, you are ready for the next phase. Do we understand? Yeah. So we are going to recreate this. And if we did not recreate this, we will not go to the motion graphics and take it from me. So it's our turnout that will determine if my hairstyle is going to be taken as motion graphics using Canva. Do we get that now? So we need to recreate this and we're submitting the assignment. Yeah, we'll drop the message on the group. Yeah, we'll drop that on the group. So the next class is on Friday, and then we're going to be having AI class. Using the AI to how to prompt your AI, what to do, what you need to know, and yeah, we're going to be doing some practical class too. It's not just going to be theory, not just be hearing conversations, and then it's going to be theory and practical. All right, and then finally, so for last week we did a vote, among the leaders, and we nominated the best student for last week. Someone guess? Can someone guess the best student for last week? Can someone guess the best student for last week? In terms of participation, in terms of activeness, in terms of assignments, can someone guess the best student for for last week? All right, because of our time, I'm going to upload. I'm going to upload the picture of the person. So our best student for what's it called now for last week is Bemileke Adebayo. Like, she's so active. She's the first person to come to class. She's always participating. You see her message in the comment section. And now, please let's give her a round of applause. Yeah. Bemi the godmother. Yeah. So this week we are also going to be doing this week. I think this week you're going to have more than one. Last week is because of the rate at which she participated. This week we're going to have more than one. And please, I want us to turn up for the class. You can see that we are giving you 100%. And I said something when we started training that there's some classes or there's some training you pay huge amounts of money for. There's some training you pay as much as 100,000 and all, and eventually you didn't learn anything. You didn't learn anything of value. But you can't say that of this training, even though it's free. Every session, every class comes with some level of intentionality, comes with some level of detail. And please, I want us to continue this. I want us to participate. I want to see our message in the comment section. Yeah, that's you, baby. You're too dramatic. I want to see your message in the comment section. I want to see our assignments being submitted on time. Thank you very much. See you guys on Friday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much on my hairstyle. So we're going to feast the next time you're going to have, the next class with us. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
night,
Thank you. Good
everyone.
night, everyone.
Good night, man.
They could start to show it, and that's what happened. For me, come weekend,